Before we begin, thank you very much to El Corona, the hat which brings doom to all, for joining the Patreon campaign. Welcome back. You are one of my favorite names to shout out. Thank you for giving me the chance to do it again. Thank you to everyone who continues to support the channel. Means the world to me. I'm going to throw in a quick shout out for something else right now, because I'll point you to the Entertainment Earth link in the description below, where you can currently pre-order Missing Link Optimus Prime, or CO1 Convoy, CO2 Convoy, depending on how you want to read it. Yeah, you can pre-order it in the US, which is kind of cool. And if you do it through my link, you're going to support the channel while you get the toys that you want. And if you want something that's in stock currently, not a pre-order, you get 10% off of that by using my link below. Yay, cheap plugs. Yay, supporting the channel. All right, it is News Roundup time. And speaking of Missing Link Convoy, of course, after I make a video doing like the whole, this is all the details we know about this figure so far, of course, Takara would choose just a couple days later to post some new details about the figure that we did not know before, namely the fact that the matrix chamber inside is removable. So rather than having a matrix small enough to fit inside the existing cavity, it is a completely separate piece that fits inside the chest. As you can see, chest comes down just like in G1, and behind said matrix chamber is the original Diaclone seats. So this is replicated quite well, and I mean, it's cool that you have the option of the matrix chamber or not if you want a more cartoon accurate design. It's nice that this is a removable thing for both versions. They could have easily just made this exclusive to the anime version, and it would have annoyed everybody. But I am happy to find that it seems it's just the trailer and the added accessories that involve the trailer that seem to be the exclusivity between the two. Everything else seems remotely the same. So that's good. That's good. I'm still eagerly anticipating this. This is still an exciting thing for Transformers. And of course, I'm sure there's going to be some other trick that they're going to announce at some point. But I think now that we've seen so much of Convoy, I think everyone is just kind of like itching and like bouncing up and down in their seat like I am right now. Just waiting to see who gets announced next. A Starscream, a Prowl, a Megatron, if they want to be lofty about it and make it super hard for us to import in the US. But no, this is continuing story, and I love to see that there's still more to find out about this toy as it approaches its release. Super exciting. Let's look at some stuff that is not quite as high-end, though. I say that we're going to go into Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus, so we're still talking a $90 figure here. So they showed off some more behind-the-scenes photos of this toy, and namely, they showed off how the transformation scheme works. In particular, they seem quite proud of the fact that it actually emulates the original design spec, the original storyboard for how Ultra Magnus's transformation works, which is a really cool thing to point out. And it was a really cool thing for them to do. There's even details like, I can see where the front wheels on the truck also fold in to match the original animation scheme, which doesn't seem like it would be that necessary, but they still managed to work that in, which is cool. There is a concern to this toy because it is going to be a very large figure. Yes, I believe there's some comparison shots here. We see, yeah, he has his Matrix chest, which is the first time an Ultra Magnus has had one. So that's actually a really cool thing to include. It opens just like it did in the original movie. See, it uses translucent plastic, which I don't like. Here's your comparison, though. Here it is next to Leader Class Grimlock. So you can see it is taller, it is wider, it is bulkier. I know a lot of people look at this shot and they do not see where a $90 toy exists, considering the last toy we got at the Commander class is Armada Optimus Prime, which everyone agrees is probably the most worthy of the price that any Commander has been so far. The Super Mode is very solid and very good. It has a ton of extra features and options, and everything is built very, very well. Ultra Magnus is going to be a vehicle that turns into a robot, and so far it doesn't seem like there's any bells or whistles beyond that, which is bringing up some concern that it might just be priced that way just for the size. And the size is, it's big. He is a big figure. Well, no, I think he's going to come across about the same size as the Combiner War Leader Magnus. But that is yet to be seen, because I haven't seen that yet. They showed off the separation gimmick, too, which is using the original Combiner War style engineering. That makes me curious how many people are going to start throwing Combiner War limbs onto Magnus. You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. I do like the recreation with all the Junkions, though. That's cute. So, yeah, we got, so they put some work in. They put some work in. We'll have to wait till someone actually gets one in hand to really see everything that this toy can do, but it's a good start. It's a good start. We have in-hand shots of Masterpiece Movie MP 14 Bonecrusher, one of the few movie designs I still really, really like. Though the more I look at the Masterpiece, the more I think I just like the look of the original toy and the Studio Series Deluxe. Now you made him a little bit more screen accurate. It actually takes away a little bit of what I liked about him, which is odd. He doesn't have the big extendy arms anymore, which I miss those. But the rest of him still looks cool. As far as movie designs go, I still really do like this one. I do like that his feet seem to tripod each other better than the previous attempts at it do. It looks like he comes with an additional arm, because there's the Minesweeper in the back, and then there is the two multi-prong ones coming off his back here. So it looks like you actually have to swap in and out for his robot and vehicle mode arms, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but they might not have been able to recreate that, specifically well. So maybe it won't be too bad. Maybe it won't be too bad. I think it's mostly just the fact that, the claws are such different shapes when you make it movie accurate. He's big, too. He's hefty. I love the flame effects that he comes with, too, to replicate him bashing through the bus. Now we need a Masterpiece Transit that can break in half and recreate that scene. And yes, he comes with a spare head with an eyeball flying out, just in case you want him mid-Optimus Prime death. The individual head, I find, would also be a really good accessory, just to leave at Optimus Prime's feet. So that is an option as well. Pretty big here. Now, I appreciate them... I appreciate them using the tape measure here. When I can't read the increments, that makes it a little bit of it defeats the point a little bit. We do have the Studio Series Optimus next to him, though. He's quite huge compared to that. I don't know. This might be the one Masterpiece movie toy that tempts me. It's really going to depend on how much money's in my bank account and how free my budget is when this thing launches. Fingers crossed, though, because he is looking really, really cool. And I hope he turns out good. That's the thing. I ain't pre-ordering him. I have strictly sworn against pre-ordering Masterpieces until I find out how well they work. I have the same policy with AAA games, now that I think of it. Alright. On the cheaper end of things, we have in-hand images of Studio Series Ratchet, which is kind of gone off the radar. I feel like this toy was revealed and then just it didn't come up anywhere, and we're still just waiting on it to be released. So good that we finally have some good in-hand shots. We can see the differences between Ironhide and he. Not only does he have the light bar, which is not in this shot, obviously, but yeah, it's a new head and a new skirt armor, and the skirt armor is still one piece, even though it is a very popular mod and seems to be a very natural mod to split the skirt on Ironhide. But he looks good. He looks good. The Ironhide toy looks really, really good. It's the best rendition of the original G1 Ironhide we've ever gotten. And Ratchet kind of follows the same suit. The only issue I had with that was tolerances in vehicle mode, because the front end of the windshield took a ton of force to push in and connect and finish the transformation. And mine always had a gap in the rear that wouldn't close up. So I'm hoping Ratchet is a little bit shored up. A little bit looser in the front section, a little bit tighter in the rear section. Don't take that out of context. Ratchet is a very respectable doctor. But no, he's looking really, really good. Really looking forward to him. It's weird. For me, Wheeljack and Ratchet have always been interconnected in my brain, so the fact that we do not have the pair in modern format is somewhat frustrating. So I'm glad this is going to be on the way soon. Get the two together, get my 84 Autobot team looking good. Next in hand, Studio Series Leader Class Optimus Primal, which everyone is excited for because this is the one that's actually going to look good and represent the movie really, really well. You're looking at the photo that made me cancel the pre-order I had, though. You just saw me review the Studio Series buzzworthy Bumblebee Optimus Prime. Yeah, it's like a decent-sized Voyager. But, you know, you look at next to Primal. Primal is probably a little bit bulkier, but he's actually a little shorter than the toy. That's weird. It's really weird. You know, and we look at the toy, like, there's definitely some different engineering to it. Like, he's got, his finger articulation is good. He is well articulated from the shots that I need to scroll back to. You know, ape mode looks good. Well sculpted. Yeah, and there's elements that he does, like, transform. A lot of the simpler figures do not, so that works out. So, yeah, he looks fine. You know, he looks like a decent Primal toy. I just don't see where he's worth an extra $20 on top of a normal Voyager. There's a ton of photos in this gallery. Let me just clip through. I mean, he gets a ton of accessories. He gets the chain that goes to Battle Trap. Okay, that's fine. He gets the axe that goes to Optimus Prime. That's fine. So he comes with extra accessories. But we're talking about some comparatively small accessories, if we're being real here, compared to that price difference. And that's not sitting well with me. That's really, really not sitting well with me. Yeah. Like I said, this is what made me cancel the pre-orders. It's just like for an extra $20, I don't see where the value is. Maybe once we get better in hand, once someone whose opinion I trust is actually getting it in hand, and I can actually find out how well engineered the toy is, then I will make my decision. For now, though, I don't see an extra $20 just because it comes with a couple of accessories for other toys. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it yet. Speaking of things we didn't see the original version of the Beast Combiners RC until now. Marcella Matere, I'm butchering that name, I apologize. But Marcelo showed off the production images and the design concept for the toy. And, you know, the RC came out fine. The RC is about as close as they could on that budget. It's Silver Fang that was interesting here because it's a very different beast, literally. The purple looks really, really cool. I really like the purple that would have combined well with her, like, pinkish red. Would have looked really, really nice. Unfortunately, like, these toys are heavily budgeted, so obviously the paint and the colors went down. So it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I also really prefer this head sculpt over the one that came out, which in the final toy, which is kind of just a puffy RC head. This looks way cooler. So customizers, get on this. Try to start making one that looks exactly like how it was originally conceived, because this is way cooler looking. If these toys had a budget, they'd be dangerous. Alright, but that's enough of that. Enough of that. Let's do a little bit more Rise of the Beast, and we'll go back to the high end of things. Killerbody showed off their Optimus Prime voice changer helmet, and showed off a ton of the features it has. So, on top of the fact that it is a actual voice changer that you can wear, it also has Optimus Prime's actual voice. Peter Cullen recorded lines for this thing. The eyes light up, obviously. The cool thing about it is they shared a video of it. Obviously I'm not going to show you the video because YouTube, hi. But I will tell you that the mouth does open in sync with the audio clips, so that's a really cool touch. And there is an actual attachable faceplate that will also move up and down to match the voice. I assume as you're speaking through it as well as when the voice clips are playing. That's super cool. And that does add a little bit more credit to how expensive this thing is. Now, obviously, the detail is way better, especially in the paint, than your standard, like, helmet toy that Hasbro releases, or even one of their partners releases. This is higher end. This is much higher end. This is something you can leave on a table or a shelf, and it just looks like a really good, like, bust of Optimus Prime, as well as just being something that's actually wearable. And the fact that there's, like, animatronic function and something you can wear, now I can see where the price is starting to come from. So it'll be cool when people get this in hand and they start doing weird stuff with it. But for now, it's just super pretty to look at. It's coming out sometime this year, I believe. It's marked for 2023 anyway. So keep an eye out. Super7 Wave 2 for their Transformers Ultimates is in hand. So people have been showing that off. And this is such a weird line. Number one, like we talked about in the past, I don't know why this line coincided with Transformers Red. But also this... they choose some weird things for this line. So Wave 2, you would think some original Year 1 characters. You would think maybe, maybe some like the classic versions of, like some really iconic character. No. Tracks. Now, not that Tracks is not iconic or popular, but Tracks in like a, there's only 8 figures that exist in this toy line, and one of them is Tracks. That's a little odd. That's a little odd, right? So, like, there's no Bumblebee, right? There's no Soundwave. I don't think there's a Soundwave. I'm losing track between this and Red. But, no, like, Wave 2. Tracks, Grimlock in Season 3 mode. Megatron, obviously you have to do. And Bludgeon, coming off of the Bonsai-tron from the first wave. Like I said, they do weird stuff. If you know Super 7, when they do toy waves, this is pretty much par for the course for them. If you look at their Thundercats and Ninja Turtle lines, it kind of runs the same way, where you get a major character, you get some, some B-grade, some B-list characters that are still really, really popular, and then just one out there choice. Just just like, we just wanted to do this character. Which is where, a wave of their Ninja Turtles might include, Raphael, okay, cool, Baxter Stockman, and Splinter, okay, cool, and then, like, Mutagen Man. It's things like that they throw at you. But these look fine themselves. I've heard that the Bludgeon is very articulate in some spots and very not articulate in others because of his armor. That's kind of unfortunate. Just kind of looks like a silly skeleton man, which is correct. Grimlock in Season 3 mode with the apron, the drinks, the crown from the comic books is cool. Wheelie. He gets a wheelie to ride. What looks like a Joker fish, but I know it's from Grimlock's new brain. So, and so is the head cap, by the way. So, it's accessory loaded. Megatron, look at this. Number one, the sculpt on this feels off, and I don't know why. But also, he literally comes with his drunk face and a half-drank and Energon cube. It's such a weird choice. It is such a weird choice. But, hey, it's going to be fun for some people. I've heard absolutely nothing about a Wave 3 or beyond. It just seems like another dead attempt to create non-transforming Transformers, which historically has never, ever worked. Okay, there are exceptions to the rule. The high-end figures, for instance. Or if you don't want to spend that, you go to Yolopark. Yolopark showed off a lot more details about their upcoming G1 Megatron kit, which is in their advanced model kit line. So similar to the ones I reviewed, but higher end. So there's LED eyes and cannon. There is die-cast components. It is, I believe, larger. So yeah, features, 3 interchangeable faces, 5 weapon accessories, flexible articulated hands, die-cast outer armor for more realistic touch, rusty and battle damage painting, light effects. Yeah, so it's got a lot. So let's see, body, display, base, and stand, interchangeable face, battle damage, chest armor, keyed vector sigma, rail cannon, rapid firing blaster, energon sword, energon mace. So it does come with a ton of stuff, and we do have a look at it in box, which potato quality photos, but here we go. Rapid Fire Blaster, I believe refers to the gun he killed Optimus Prime with. So this is kind of meant to see, as you can see, the way that it is like mostly assembled in box. This is, akin to the model kits that I reviewed, but obviously they have a lot more paint budget have gone into these. A lot more accessories are included with these. The stand, the die cast. So you're getting a much more premium quality thing that you still get some fun of actually assembling for yourself. So it's a nice little touch. Do I have a comparison shot? No, I do not. No, it's just a really nice looking G1 Megatron with a whole bunch of stuff to come with. Yolopark's been great to me. Hopefully I actually get a chance to show you this one as well down the line. Moving on. Quick little news beat here. Because we're already 20 minutes. Man, I'm terrible at this. I'm a terrible newscaster. If you want to see what the original More Than Meets the Eye episodes sounded like in the original Japanese audio, well, not the original Japanese audio, but if you want to hear what they sounded like in Japan, then you can go over to Takara Tomi's YouTube channel right now because they uploaded all 3 for free. So, and the US versions are on free on Pulse's YouTube channel as well, by the way. So you got plenty of ways of watching the original G1 now. It's just fun to hear, like, how different their depictions of the characters are. Even if you can't understand the language, the tone is interesting. And then to wrap us off, this, we've got official images for Transformers Earthspark Flying Heroes. Grip it, rip it, real flying action. So, for you 90s kids, we called these Sky Dancers for girls and Dragonflies for boys. You stick it on you stick it on the base, the handle, you pull the ripcord, and it flies off, spinning in the air to actually have something of a propeller flight to it. A brief flight, by the way. Of course, it will eventually find its way back down. So this solicit is out of the United Kingdom because these toys are outlawed in the US. Because as it turns out, when you have these toys that are meant to be played, here's your hands, here's where you are, here's your face. Here's your face. And this is a very rapidly spinning thing with what are essentially plastic blades for arms to create the flight motion. There were a lot of eye injuries involved with these toys, so they are not allowed in the US anymore. So if you want something odd for Earthspark, you gotta import from the UK. Good luck with that. And that will do it for the day. Thank you for joining me once again to catch up on all of the Transformer news of the week. Always appreciated. And of course, I will see you next time.
I'm like, I think you guys got this. I will back away, and I will see you all later.
You've got this handled.
Alafi's like, really? You're not gonna help me? Like, it's fine now.
It's like these disgusting creatures breathing down my neck, and you're all just like, I believe in you. You got this.
All right, you seem to have this. 5 minutes.